streets we used to know. Your laughter's in the air. I reach for you in empty rooms, but no one's standing there. The photographs, the faded notes still speak of what we had. I stayed through every heartbreak while you left without a glance. I told myself I'd be okay, I told myself to move on, but loving you in silence feels like holding on too long. I'm left alone with memories of a love that slipped away. I kept the fire burning while you just walked away. I gave you all my heart, but you didn't see it through. I'm left alone with memories and the pieces of me lost in you. I trace the lines of your goodbye. I feel the weight of time. I held on to every almost touch while you let go of mine. They say love should lift your soul, not leave it bruised and torn. But I stayed with every heartbeat while you were already gone. I don't miss the way you left, I miss the way I tried to hold on when love was fading and hope slowly died. I'm left alone with memories through the nights I couldn't sleep. I whispered every secret that you never wanted to keep. I carried all the words unsaid, the weight I couldn't share. I'm left alone with memories of a love that wasn't there. If loving you was foolish, I'd do it all again. Because for a fleeting moment, you were my only friend. You taught me how love can hurt without a single fight. I stayed when you walked away through the longest night. I'm left alone with memories, but I'm learning to let go. I'll keep the love that made me strong and release the pain I know. I stayed when it was breaking, I stayed when it was wrong. I'm left alone with memories, but I'll survive and carry on. Some hearts leave quietly, some hearts fade away. I'm left alone with memories, but I'll survive another day. I hear your voice in empty rooms, but it doesn't call my name. I wait for words that never come, while you move on the same. Your laughter haunts the corners where we used to lie. I stayed through every shadow while you said goodbye. I thought love meant patience, I thought love meant trust, but patience fades in darkness and trust turns into dust. I was left behind in your silence. at the gate. I stayed when it was breaking. I loved when it was wrong. I was left behind in my silence, holding on for far too long. Your shadow lingers in my chest, even when the night is still. I replay every almost touch, every unspoken thrill. They say love should feel like home. Now I standing in my rave, but I kept holding open doors while you walked away in vain. I don't miss the way you left, I miss the way I tried. When love felt like a promise before it slowly died. I was left behind in the silence while you chased another dream. I carried all the unspoken words you never meant to me. I stayed when it was breaking. I waited through the pain. I was left behind in your silence, and nothing feels the same. Loving you was reckless. I'd do it all again, because for a fleeting moment you were my only friend. You taught me how love can hurt without a single fight. I stayed when you left, through the longest night. I was left behind in your silence, but I'm learning to let go. Carry what was beautiful, then release what I can't hold. I stayed when it was breaking, but now I'm standing tall. I was left behind in the silence, and I'm learning to love after all. Some hearts leave quietly, some hearts break slow. I was left behind in your silence, but now it's time to go. I walked behind you every step, hoping one day you'd see the love I gave without a cause, the heart that determinedly. You have to fill the empty rooms while I kept my distance near. I learned to hide my own heartache so you wouldn't see none fear. I held on to every word, even the words you didn't say. I built my world around your smile while you slowly slipped away. I was left in your shadow, watching love fade from your eyes. I gave you all my forever. You gave me quiet goodbyes. I stayed when it was dark. I waited when you walked. I was left in your shadow, carrying the love you never caught. Your presence feels like empty air, a ghost I can't replace. I talk to memories like they're real, trying to see your face. You said love should lift you up, not crash you in the pain. But I kept holding all the pieces while you never took the strain. I don't miss the way you left, I miss the way you were. When love was still alive, before it disappeared for sure. I was left in your shadow, hearing echoes of your name. I gave you all my courage. You left me with the blame. I stayed when it was breaking. I waited when you fled. I was left in my shadow, with the pieces of what we had. If loving you was reckless, I'd do it all again. Because for a fleeting moment, you were my only friend. You showed me how love can hurt by leaving me behind. Some hearts are built to wander, some hearts stay confined. I was left in your shadow, but I'm learning how to shine. I'll carry all the lessons, but I won't carry your lies. I stayed when it was breaking, and now I stand alone. I was left in your shadow, and now I found my own. Some loves deep silently, some leave you in the dark. I was left in your shadow, but I'm learning how to spark. Mm-hmm. I watched you smile from across the room, like nothing was wrong inside. I held my heart in quiet hands while you let yours hide. Every word you never said echoed louder than our voice. I stayed through all the silence because I never had a choice. I told myself I'd be okay, I told myself to move on, but love can burn in shadows even when the light is gone. These are the tears you'll never see, the nights I cried alone, so I loved you in the spaces between the words you never knew. I held on memories so tight while you let them slip away. These are the tears you'll never see from the love I couldn't stay. Every day, every almost touch, every glance I misread, I gave you all my quiet strength while you walked ahead. They say love should lift your soul, not break it piece by piece, but I stayed with every heartbeat while you found your peace. I don't miss the way you left, I miss the way I tried to hold on when love was fading and hope slowly died. These are the tears I'll never see, I carried all the things unsaid, the weight I couldn't share. These are the tears you'll never see for the love that wasn't there. If loving you was foolish, I'd do it all again, because for a fleeting moment you were my only friend. You taught me how love can hurt without a single fight. I cried when you walked away in the silence of the night. These are the tears you'll never see, the love that stayed too long. I'll carry what I needed and learn to this song. Stay when it was breaking, I stayed when it was wrong. These are the tears you'll never see, but I'm learning to move on. Some hearts leave quietly, some hearts fade away. These are the tears you'll never see, but I'll survive another day. to his shadows on the wall. You were standing with your suitcase, like you'd already let me fall. I tried to read between your tears, but they wouldn't meet my eyes. We were holding on to silence while our love slowly died. You said maybe we just need some time, but time was already gone. You held my hands like you still cared, but your heart had moved on. And the last thing we said still echoes in my head. You whispered I'll be fine, but you were leaving me instead. Now I replay every word, every promise that we made. If love was meant to last forever, why did it fade? Tell me, how do I forget the last thing we said? Your perfume lingers in the sheets, like it doesn't wanna leave. I close my eyes and see your face, and every memory we built a life on fragile dreams. It's shattered in one night. Funny how forever can disappear without a fight. You said we'll both be better off, like pain is just a phase, but nothing feels better now. Just empty your days. And the last thing we said still echoes in my head. You whispered I'll be fine, but you were leaving me instead. Now I replay every word, every promise that we made. If love was meant to last forever, why did it fade? Tell me, how do I forget the last thing we said? If I knew there was the last time I'd hear you say my name, I would have held you tighter, I would have begged you to stay. Now the silence is the loudest thing filling up this bed, and I'm haunted by the words from the last thing we said. The last thing we said was supposed to mend, but it broke me wide open in the end. Now every I love you feels like it was springtime. If goodbye was mercy, why does it never end? I'm still living in the moment you walked away. still drowning in the last thing we said. You were quiet in the kitchen light, two shadows on the wall. You said I'll be fine, and I lost it all. I see your shadow on the wall, though you're nowhere near. I talk to memories at night, hoping somehow you'll hear. I held my love in quiet hands through the pain and the fear. I stayed when everything was breaking, while you disappeared. I told myself I'd be okay, I told myself to breathe. But loving you in silence is a wound I can't leave. I keep loving you when you're gone, through every lonely night. I gave you all my heart and hope, but you left out of sight. I carried every memory of what we could have been. I keep loving you when you're gone, while the world moves on again. Your laughter lingers in my chest, your name still feels like rain. I reach for moments we almost had, but they never stay the same. They say love should heal your soul, not break it piece by piece. I stayed through every heartbeat while you found your release. I don't miss the way you left, I miss the way I tried to hold on when love was fading and hope slowly died. I keep loving you when you're gone, through every tear I hide. I held on to a dream of us while you walked away in time. I carried all the unsaid words, the weight I couldn't share. I keep loving you when you're gone, but I'm learning how to care You said we'd be okay someday, like someday wasn't far. But hope can sound like lying when it's whispered in the dark. I watched you pack your reasons, I stayed and packed the pain. I kept believing love would grow, you kept calling it change. I held on to the smallest signs like they could make you stay. I was fighting for a future you had already gave away. I loved you past goodbye, past the door you closed, past the nights you slept just fine. While I broke alone, I loved you past the ending, when nothing felt the same. You walked into your freedom, I stayed inside your name. Yeah, I loved you past goodbye. Your silence learned my heartbeat, it knows when I'm not strong. Every song feels like a memory that goes on too long. They say love should feel like safety, not like losing ground. But I kept standing in the fire, waiting to be found. I don't miss the way you left, I miss the way you tried. Back when love still felt like truth, before it learned to hide. I loved you past goodbye, past what we became. I gave you all my tomorrows, you gave me yesterday. I reached for what was real, you reached for something new. I loved you past goodbye, but you were already through. If loving you was foolish, I was brave in my own way. I loved without conditions, you loved with escape. You moved on like it was easy, like I was built to bend. But losing you taught me where love should end. I loved you past goodbye, but I'm letting go tonight. I'll keep what made me human and release the fight. You were a lesson dressed as a love, a truth I couldn't see. I loved you past goodbye, now I'm learning how to leave. Some hearts break all at once, some slowly over time. I loved you past goodbye, but now that love is mine. You said we'd be okay someday, like someday wasn't far. But hope can sound like lying when it's whispered in the dark. I watched you pack your reasons, I stayed and packed the pain. I kept believing love would grow, you kept calling it change. I held on to the smallest signs like they could make you stay. I was fighting for a future you had already gave away. I loved you past goodbye, past the door you closed, past the nights you slept just fine. While I broke alone, I loved you past the ending, when nothing felt the same. You walked into your freedom, I stayed inside your name. Yeah, I loved you past goodbye. Your silence learned my heartbeat. It knows when I'm not strong. Every song feels like a memory that goes on too long. They say love should feel like safety, not like losing ground. But I kept standing in the fire, waiting to be found. I don't miss the way you left, I miss the way you tried. Back when love still felt like truth, before it learned to hide. I loved you past goodbye, past what we became. I gave you all my tomorrows, you gave me yesterday. I reached for what was real, you reached for something new. I loved you past goodbye, but you were already through. If loving you was foolish, I was brave in my own way. I loved without conditions, you loved with escape. You moved on like it was easy, like I was built to bend. But losing you taught me where love should end. I loved you past goodbye, but I'm letting go tonight. I'll keep what made me human and release the fight. You were a lesson dressed as a love, a truth I couldn't see. I loved you past goodbye, now I'm learning how to leave. Some hearts break all at once, some slowly over time. I loved you past goodbye, but now that love is mine. I watch you move through your days as if I'm not here at all. I hold the love I never said while you build your walls. Every glance you give to someone else, 'cause sharper than a knife, I loved you quietly, endlessly, through the corners of my life. I told myself it's better this way, I told myself to be strong. But loving you in shadows can't feel right for too long. I keep loving you in silence when you don't even know. I carry all the pieces of a heart you'll never hold. I stayed when it was breaking, I waited through the pain. I keep loving you in silence, and it feels like loving in vain. I memorize the little things, the way your laugh can bend, every smile that isn't mine, every message I pretend. They say love should feel alive, not lonely in the night. But I held on to what we were while you slipped out of sight. I don't miss the way you left, I miss the way I tried to hold on when love was fading. slips away. I stayed when it was breaking. I stayed when it was wrong. I keep loving you in silence, but I'm finding where I belong. Some hearts leave quietly, some hearts fade away. I keep loving you in silence, but I'll survive another day. You were standing right beside me, but I never felt you stay. I kept saving all my feelings for someday that never came. You smiled like you were trying, but your heart was somewhere else. I was loving you like forever, you were loving me like yourself. I ignored the way you faded every time I reached for you. I thought love meant patience, now I know it meant true. I learned love too late when you were already gone. I gave you my tomorrow, you gave me moving on. I stayed when it was breaking, you left when it was hard. I learned love too late, with a half-beating heart. Your absence has a rhythm, it follows me around. Every quiet moment still knows the sound. They say love shouldn't hurt this way, but nobody ever said what happens when you give your all and lose yourself instead. I don't miss the way you left, I miss who I used to be. Before loving you meant losing every part of me. I learned love too late when you stopped trying. I was holding on to hope, you were already flying. I believed in us alone, like that would make it real. I learned love too late, but the pain still feels. If loving you was foolish, then I was brave in disguise. I love without a backup plan, you loved with goodbye in mind. I don't regret the moments when your hand was in mine. I regret ignoring the signs every single time. I learned love too late, but I loved you right. I stayed through the silence, through every lonely night. You'll never know the weight of the words I never said. I learned love too late, but I loved you with everything I had. Some lessons come as love, some come as pain. I learned love too late, but I'll never love the same. I whispered your name into the night, but it never reached reached your ears. I gave my heart in quiet ways. Through all the lonely years, you smiled like nothing mattered. But I felt every lie. I loved you in the silence while you just walked on by. I told myself I'd be okay. I told myself to move on. But love can burn in shadows even when the light is gone. I loved you in the dark when no one else could see. Every tear I kept for you, every hope that let me be. I stayed when it was breaking. I loved when it was wrong. I loved you in the dark, and I carried you too long. I replay the moments that never were, the almost we couldn't touch. I gave you all my quiet strength, but it still wasn't enough. They say love should heal the soul, not break it piece by piece. I stayed through every heartbeat while you found your peace. I don't miss the way you left, I miss the way I tried to hold on when love was fading and hope slowly died. I loved you in the dark, through the nights and endless pain. I held your memory close, though it never stayed the same. I carried all the words unsaid, the weight I couldn't share. I loved you in the dark for a love that wasn't there. If loving you was foolish, I'd do it all again. Because for a fleeting moment, you were my only friend. You taught me how love can hurt without a single fight. I loved you in the dark through the longest night. I loved you in the dark, but I'm learning to let go. I'll carry what was real and release what I can't hold. I stayed when it was breaking, I stayed when it was wrong. I loved you in the dark, but I'm learning to be strong. Some hearts leave quietly, some hearts fade away. I loved you in the dark, and I'll survive another day. There's a crack across the ceiling from the night we fell apart. I swear I hear it breathing, like the breaking of my heart. Your toothbrush still beside mine, like nothing's really changed. But everything between us doesn't feel the same. I kept the lights on in the hallway in case you change your mind. But love doesn't come back when it's already left behind. We were talking about forever, like it was ours to own. Now I'm learning how to live in a house that's not a home. 'Cause I loved you more than you stayed, more than the promises we made, more than the tears I try to hide when I'm alone at night. I gave you every piece of me, every hope, every dream, but you walked away unafraid. And I loved you more than you stayed. I still reach across the mattress in the middle of the dark, like maybe I'll still find you where you used to leave your heart. You said it's not about love, but what else could it be? If love was strong enough for me, why wasn't it for you and me? The clock keeps ticking louder, like it's counting what we lost, and I'm paying for forever at the highest cost. I was ready for the long run, you were ready for the door. I was fighting for a future, you weren't fighting anymore. 'Cause I loved you more than you stayed, more than the words you couldn't say, more than the silence in your eyes the night you said goodbye. I gave you every part of me, even the parts that break easily, but you walked away unafraid. And I loved you more than you stayed. Why does it still feel alive? Why am I the only one who didn't learn how to survive? I would have held your pieces through every storm and wave, but you let go so easily of the love I would have saved. I loved you more than you stayed, more than the plans that we made, more than the ring we never chose, or the life we'll never know. I gave you everything I had, even the best of what I am. You didn't fight, you didn't wait, and I loved you more than you stayed. And when you stayed, in the hallway and the silence fills with space. You didn't love me less, you just couldn't stay. Your moves before your smile, I felt your distance grow. You'd say my name like it was safe, but never let me close. I was reading between your lines, looking for a sign. You were already letting go while I was still trying. I kept telling myself this was just how love feels, but love doesn't feel like waiting for someone to be real. I loved you without being loved, I gave what you couldn't give, I stayed when it hurt too much just to feel you exist. You held my heart so lightly, like it wasn't enough. I loved you without being loved, and it slowly broke me up. Your silence had a way of saying more than true. I blame myself for everything you didn't choose to do. They say love should meet you halfway, not leave you in the dark. But I kept lighting all the fires while you guarded your heart. I don't miss the way you left, I miss who I became. Back when loving you still felt like my name. I loved you without being loved, in a story meant for two. I built a future in my head you never stepped into. You called it bad timing, I called it giving up. I loved you without being loved, and that was more than enough. If loving you was foolish, I was brave in my own way. I loved without protection, you loved with escape. You moved on without looking back, like I was easy to lose. But losing you taught me what love shouldn't do. I loved you without being loved, but my heart was true. I don't regret the way I felt, I regret trusting you. I'm learning how to choose myself the way you never could. I loved you without being loved, but I loved you good. Some hearts love too deeply, some hearts never try. I loved you without being loved, now I'm learning how to say goodbye. I watched you walk away slowly, like I wasn't standing there. I held the pieces of your heart while you vanished in the air. Your words still haunt the corners of every quiet room. I stayed when it was breaking while you already left too soon. I kept believing in a maybe, while reality burned me alive. I was fighting for a love that no longer wanted to survive. I stayed when you left, holding on to what we had. I loved you through the silence while you forgot I was sad. I carried all the memories that you didn't choose to keep. I stayed when you left, while your love ran too deep to reach. I replay every laugh, every touch, every word I shouldn't have said. Your shadow follows me at night inside my restless bed. They say love shouldn't hurt this way, but nobody tells your heart how to hold someone forever when they're already torn apart. I don't miss the way you left, I miss the way I tried when love was still alive before it slowly died. I stayed when you left, through the storm and the cold. I gave you all my courage while your story went untold. I held on to your ghost even when it was Because for a fleeting moment you were my closest friend. You taught me how love can break without a word or a fight. I stayed when you left, and I carried all the night. I stayed when you left, but I won't stay the same. I'll take the lessons of the heartache and release your name. I stayed when it was breaking. I stayed through all the pain. I stayed when you left, and now I'll rise again. Some hearts leave quietly, some hearts fade away. I stayed when you left, but I'm learning how to stay. I watched you leave without a word, as if I wasn't there. I held the love you left behind while you vanished in the air. Your laughter filled the empty rooms. I tried to fill the space. I stayed when everything was breaking while you erased your place. I told myself it's just a phase. I told myself you'd stay, but love isn't waiting in the dark. It doesn't fade away. I stayed while you left, holding on to what we were. I loved you in the silence when you no longer heard. I carried all the memories that you chose to leave. I stayed while you left, with nothing but my grief. Your shadow haunts my quiet nights. Your name still feels like pain. I reach for moments we once had, but they don't remain. They say love should make you whole, not break you piece by piece. But I kept holding on to us while you found your release. I don't miss the way you left, and I miss the way I tried before love turned to nothing and hope slowly died. I stayed while you left, through the tears and the storm. I whispered every secret you never kept warm. I loved you through the darkness when you had already gone. I stayed while you left, trying to hold quiet. If loving you was foolish, I'd do it all again. Because for a fleeting moment you were my only friend. You showed me how love can hurt without a single fight. I stayed while you left, and I held on through the night. I stayed while you left, but I'm learning to breathe. I'll keep the lessons of our love and the memories I need. I stayed when it was breaking. I stayed when it was wrong. I stayed while you left, but I learned to move on. Some hearts leave quietly, some hearts fade away. I stayed while you left, and I'll survive another day. There's a quiet in the world knows what we lost. Your name still lingers on my lips, but loving you came at a cost. I still fold your sweater slow, like you might come back for it. Like this goodbye's a passing storm, not something permanent. You said we needed different roads, different skies to breathe. But how can I believe in that when you're still the air I need? If you ever loved me, why was it so easy to leave? Why am I the only one still begging you in my sleep? If you ever felt it the way I still do, tell me how you walked away like we were never true. I gave you every part of me, every hope, every memory. If you ever loved me, why don't you love me now? Your shadows dancing on the walls, in the corner of my mind. Every will be okay someday turns cooler over time. I replay our last embrace, the tremble in your hands. You said this isn't what I want, but you still let it in. Was I loving harder, or were you loving less? Did we both just give up, or did you just forget? If you ever loved me, why was it so easy to let go? Why am I still standing here while you don't even look back anymore? If you ever meant it when you said my name, how did forever turn to nothing without a single flame? I gave you everything I had, even when it hurt so bad. If you ever loved me, why am I the one still sad? I would have fought through every doubt, every storm you fear. I would have stayed through all the nights you disappeared. But you were already drifting while I was holding tight, and I didn't know I was losing you till you said goodnight. If you ever loved me, tell me where it went. Did it fade like summer or break without a dent? If you ever needed me the way I needed you, why does my heart still bleed for something you outgrew? I gave you all of me, and now there's nothing left to show. If you ever loved me, why did you let me go? If you ever loved me, I hope someday it hurts to know.